Alrighty, 4 hour chart over here. It's still dropping. We have had a nice little rise overnight, right? Well, overnight now. This is 4 hour chart. So a few days ago we had our nice little rise and it's been dropping since then. So just kind of looking ahead at the 4 hour chart, we are finding the gold SMA and the Fibonacci line at the 61.8% point is probably our support. It's possible a little bit lower than that, but at least that probably, which is at 50.54, so, or 55, just to be on the conservative side, which is like 20 points lower than it is right now. And that's a very doable movement for one day for this particular market that we're trading. So let's look at the 15-minute chart here. We can see that it's been going up. Probably won't get above this red line right here, 50.80, which is also coincidentally where the blue SMA is. So that's a pretty strong resistance level right there. Alrighty, so I actually got into a short before I brought this chart up, and that was a mistake because I could have seen that it probably would rise a little bit more after that. So I got into a short down here, and now I'm in a negative position, but I still think it's going to drop. I don't think it's going to go up too far. So, I just jumped the gun a little bit, but it's not a big deal. All right, so we're seeing on the 5-minute chart also the green candle, nothing red is formed yet. Okay, and all of a sudden we have 2 red candles, and when it did hit that peak, it just started dropping pretty quickly. And I actually placed an order and I didn't get a screenshot. So I actually got out right here. And so the first order was 350 profit. And I'm kind of watching it, wondering if this is a good time to go short because it's kind of bounced off of lower port and then jumped up to the resistance level of the gold SMA, which isn't super strong, but it's still a possible resistance level. I waited, very proud of myself. That's hard for me to do. And it went up a little bit more. So I'm just kind of watching. And here it formed a doji, which means that it's kind of losing momentum. But then it went up just a little bit further. I actually did go ahead and get into a short when I saw that doji. So it may have been a little premature after seeing this candle here, but again, not too worried about it. All right, we have a red candle forming here, and a nice drop. So I expect it to get down to this point. However, I have another trade of 350 here. So I'm not sure that I'll wait it out that far. Yep, when it started to bounce up, I went ahead and got out. So I lost $50 of that trade. It's still 300, so that was a good trade. And then it didn't get up very far, kind of hit that resistance level and seemed like it was going to drop again. So I went ahead and got in another short. MACD is looking really good on this chart and this chart. This one, not so much, but again, this isn't hugely impacting this chart here. So anyway, I'm in a short here, and as it turns out, that was just a little too soon. So it started to go up, and I should have maybe waited to get in, around there. As you can see, there's a bit of a rejection wick up here. So the candle went up and then dropped back down again. So that's hopeful. And then we have kind of a red candle form. And as you can see, this newest candle did not get lower than the previous candle. So that's kind of what we're waiting for. It still hasn't gone up real far, so that's encouraging, even though this is a loss position for me right now. I'm not too worried about it. That's why I don't have my stop put in. All right, now we have encompassed that previous candle and actually surpassed the lowest point on that, so that's very helpful. I've almost gotten back all of the losses there. The MACD is looking really, really good. Dropped down below where I got in now in profitable position. It kind of hesitated. This gold line is kind of acting as a support, and we can also see that the gold line over here might be a support too. So I'm getting just a little bit worried, trying not to be too positive about it dropping too far, like right now, because again, I'm trading very, very short term here. So basically the MACD right here is the only reason that I'm hanging on to this position as long as I am. Still think it could possibly drop. A little bit concerning right there. And then it dropped back down again, so that's encouraging. Went ahead and kind of put in an order. I thought it could easily drop down that far, but I don't necessarily expect to get out at that point. That's just like my best case scenario. All right, it dropped down and then started to head up again. You can see the rejection wick down here. So I raised up my limit order. It is looking very downtrending right through here, and the MACD is still looking like it's gaining downward momentum. So again, I don't want to give up too quickly here. We're also looking like we broke through that support over here on the 5-minute chart, and we've got a nice big red candle on the 15. So I went ahead and got out just a little bit sooner, but I did make pretty good on that last trade. And so that was my third trade, and I have surpassed my goal for the day. Without commissions being taken out, I've made $725. You can see my 3 trades here. The last one I only made $75, but that's pretty good for the day, I'd say.